In the action once again with FaZe, TFUE, and Cloakzy going against the TSM boys of Myth and Hamlinz. This is going to determine who's going to move on to play Vikkstar and Tiny, of course, to move on to our finals. This is a monumental matchup, two of one of the greatest duos playing out against each other in a blitz game mode. It's going to be intense. Landon, Ribs, what are you thinking?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I'm just excited, to be totally honest with you. I'm actually very curious to see the landings of both of these squads. Of course, we are playing Blitz. Loser of this game is out of the entire tournament, so a lot on the line right now.
Yeah, definitely a lot on the line. I mean, we're talking about FaZe. First of all, they won our last tournament. They're battling it out again, once again in the loser bracket to come through and potentially make it to the finals again to have their piece at the prize pool. They won $10,000 last week. They're trying to recreate that success. But, of course, they've got to get to the TSM boys. Both of these teams, I would say Blitz definitely favors both of them more so. Oh, no, there's already somebody there, and that's the person you don't want to run into on a bad breakoff, and that's going to be TFUE picking up a nice, easy first kill. Of course, look where he landed. Kind of interesting. He's taking over the strategy that we saw from Vikkstar and Tenny.
He's right outside of Salty.
Yeah.
This seems to be the hot spot. You know, we don't see too much tilted. I mean, maybe it's the Blitz game mode. For whatever reason, you don't want to be in tilted right now. It's too much of a risk, I guess.
Well, no reason to go tilted, I think, at this point, right? It's early on.
But Salty's been a huge hotspot. A lot of teams landing here. And we're already going to see a few quick kills here for TSM.
Wow. They're lighting it up early. And this is the thing, right?
It's 3 for Hamlinz. Wow.
And not that I'm questioning the strategy coming in from TFUE and Cloakzy by any means, but it's just kind of an oddity to not want to go in the middle of Salty. But, however, that you have to keep in consideration. There are going to be a lot of players here as far as outliers. And look at that. Like, TFUE on the outskirts. It has nearly just as many kills. Nearly has just as many kills as the entire TSM roster, who's sitting inside of the middle of Salty Springs. This guy's just unreal, man. Like TFUE, I was watching him play a little bit earlier. Just like the smarts that he has in this game, like he hits all 4 shots while the player's moving a good 20 to 30 meters away. That's unreal.
I mean, you as a competitor, Ribs, I mean, when you see stuff like that, what are you thinking?
It's disheartening for a player like me who's thinking about maybe switching to Fortnite and trying to play competitively. Like, at what point would I ever be able to reach the level of these players? And it's exciting, but it just goes to show you these guys really put in the time, and they're able to do it when it matters most, you know, not just when they're just playing pubs in the stream. When they're playing for money right here, all four players are showing up.
Well, take a look at that, though. Cloakzy ends up getting taken down.
Wow.
I believe he could be out here shortly. It looks like, I believe, he does get taken down.
So 3 players
That's
here
big.
showing up.
So TFUE, all alone early. There's 50 players left. Half the lobby is alive. And TFUE is looking at this one solo.
Well, to be honest, TFUE's been in this situation before, right? We've seen him, and he has shown up and provided great work. So I'm not too worried for TFUE, to be quite honest with you, especially Lau. He's trying to steal this kill out of the hands of Myth and Hamlinz. That's exactly what he's good at doing, right? He's good at just coming in there and being a nuisance, and that's kind of what you have to be later on in the game. And right there's with the elimination and a player drop. That's going to be Hamlinz going down. Now Myth has to revive him, giving up ample opportunity for TFUE to maybe pick up some more kills inside of Salty. Huge opportunity for him.
And he definitely saved Hamlinz right there. And I don't know if Myth was close enough. Like, if he let that guy keep shooting his LMG, he might have actually taken out Hamlinz. But I think TFUE kind of got that shot off right as he went down, you know. And I think TFUE's in a good spot here. He could definitely keep this game salvageable. If not, take a lead right now. It's a tie game, 6-6. And GG's to Cloak. Right now, you're going to have to just be a spectator like us. But you got a great teammate in TFUE that could hold you down.
And we already talked about, I think, like, what was it, like maybe a minute ago? I was like, there's 50 players in the lobby. Now there's 26.
Jeez. I didn't even notice that until you pointed out.
I was watching the kill feed, and it was just like boom, boom. Like, there are so many players dropping in such quick succession, and that's the one thing that could. Oh, okay. There was. He's enjoying playing on his mobile device, just sitting inside Starbucks, just like, oh, this is pretty cool. Waiting in line.
Got to get it in when you can, right?
Waiting in line for like a latte of some sort, but yeah, he's done for. He just got killed by Myth.
I gotta say, it's hook it up, man. A latte sounds pretty nice right now.
Feels
swing by the UMG studios, but I'm totally down. But hey. Close game, all tied up, still 6-6. We're all going to be in Dusty.
Have there always been trees in Dusty?
No, there hasn't always. They just added that.
Okay.
So that comes along with the living, breathing map that we've seen, right? They kind of develop the maps as it goes, and they keep it familiar, but they make it different, which I really appreciate. I like it. Keeps it fresh.
And I was like, am I crazy here, or are these trees always exist?
It's probably going to be all grown up by the time, because I mean they're kind of like going through like this time thing, right? It comes through. It's been decimated by this crater, and now all of a sudden there's probably going to be a forest down there, if I had to guess.
And not to mention those trees. I was playing last night. Those trees are a little bit stronger than the trees of those same size. They give a little bit more logs. They take a few more hits. So those
I
two
have noticed that.
Hamlinz, take a look at the bottom right. Hamlinz just get dropped there.
But here comes Myth.
The
Coming in with
savior.
good shots.
Man, the myth, the legend. Will he be able to pick up this kill? He knows his teammate's down. This is a lot of
C4.
pressure on him. C4's up. Damages it down. The player builds right back up.
It's a good player.
Yeah, he's playing against a competent
He
player.
definitely
but
is.
he's going to take him
He
out.
still gets it.
Not good enough, though.
C4 was so useful in that
Oh,
situation.
100%.
The second the guy took high ground, before he could even look down, he loses high ground and took damage from that. So Myth's going to clutch up, going to save Hamlinz, but wait. Okay.
Another player to his left that he's
And
deciding not to
yeah,
thirst. He's getting pushed from ahead, though.
That should be the last player in this fight here. And the guy's going to take some fall damage there, and here comes Myth.
I don't know how he just didn't take fall damage in that situation.
Because
Like
he's
Myth.
myth.
Yeah.
Myth took a little bit.
Apparently, I don't know.
No, he took like
He
15 damage.
took like a little bit, but
No,
not
did he?
much.
Okay.
All right,
Meanwhile, TFUE getting some mushrooms, getting his shield up a little bit. That's another new addition there, the 5 shield mushrooms, similar to the apples who give you 5 HP.
trying to see how many kills are at top. I can't tell if TFUE has 6 or 0. I believe
Yeah.
it's
It's
6.
That's
six,
11 to
yeah.
6.
I think 6 is a smarter. There we go. So 11 to 6.
I mean, it's a decent deficit, but by
Not
no means.
much.
When it comes to this particular mode, it's
Right.
It's a squad, right? It's squad +1. That's not a whole lot to work off with. But however, though, there is quite a few players remaining, and you got to imagine. I would say a rough estimate here. Of course, I'm no mathematician. I would say like 85% of the engagements are probably going to be involved with these 3 players. So.
It's possible, especially if they position themselves correctly. I mean, we saw a lot of kills already in Salty as it was, right? So, I mean, Salty was a huge jump for both of them. Imagine if one team would have just went off to the well, actually, we saw that for TSM, right? But, of course, they eventually ended up converging onto Salty. But Salty was a great break for at least TFUE and Cloakzy in the beginning. But TSM making this comeback and looking pretty good so far, 6-11. So that's a decent-sized lead, 5 points, right? Nothing too scary, but still okay, as we have only, 13 engagements remaining.
Yeah, this has been a very quick game. It's really unfortunate Cloakzy had to be taken out early in that initial. He was looking good, and I honestly don't remember how he went down, but he got taken out in Salty. And we saw that happen to King Richard, and it really can put your team in a deficit. You always have game 2 to try to bring it back, but against these high-caliber players, you got to try to stay up.
You definitely do. More jump pads in the back pockets, and TFUE's going to go ahead and use that jump pad, of course, to get a scout of what's going on around the surrounding area, looking behind, thinking there's somebody behind, but nobody there just yet. It's going to go up even higher. Does he spot some? So if he picks up a snipe like that, he's definitely the sickest player. I mean, we already think TFUE is one of the greatest players, but come on. I mean, his snipes are insane as well. He's just a versatile player, really great builder. And here we go. We're going to the air to scout out the competition. Of course.
And I like the play, right? Because, some players,
Yeah.
it's been like an ongoing strategy when you're in a 1 versus 2. Like, even like week 2, we even saw like that one player will kind of go with the other squad, which to me isn't the good strategy to try to do here. But what he's doing is trying to distance himself, right? He's trying to go to Tilted, trying to find some engagements before the TSM guys even have an opportunity to do so, which you could argue it's a high-risk play, but he has to do it at this point. He has to try to distance himself. He has to play better than the other 2 guys who are up, and it just happens to be the fact that it's Myth and Hamlinz in this spot. But I believe just as I say that, Myth does get another knockdown. Some more players kind of around their position, but you kind of see the TSM guys are kind of hanging around the storm, trying to find the last few players, kind of trickling out from the kind of outside zone area. But TFUE, man, needs to find a few kills here. There's at least 2 players in front of him right now. Could be a full squad. One of the last squads we have
He's
in
out
our
of
game
mats
right now. Not a whole lot of mats in his favor, and
He
needing
needs
to
his kill
find a
to get
few
the
of his
mats.
kills at the top
Yeah.
of Trump Tower.
This is
Has
looking
to
really
make
bad.
something happen near the ACs, just trying to get some signs of life. Gets one knockdown.
Oh.
No, he's down!
They can't find the others as the squad will take down TFUE, and now the game is wide open
There's
for the TSM boys.
12 kills still remaining for the TSM boys. They know that currently TFUE went down over at Tilted. So at this point, that's just, like you said, it's wide open. They can come through. They can get some plenty of kills. They already had the lead, of course, as we saw. Cloakzy went down relatively early, so they already have the lead. And this is where the TSM boys thrive, whether it's Daquan and Hamlinz, or now Myth and Hamlinz as well. They love when they're last alive and they could just play their game, relax, and just pick off the easy kills.
That's what we saw. That's what we saw Hamlinz do, right? Or
Right.
just not even that long ago.
Sure,
He was-
against King Richard.
Yeah, and in a very, very close game, he
Right.
ends up picking out 15 kills. I think it was like 8 or 9 kills toward the end of the game by himself. I mean, this is where these guys thrive, and this is where, honestly, you could argue any team thrives. Whenever you're in a 2vx situation, the entire enemy's down, you're kind of playing a lot more relaxed. You don't have to rush as many things kind of awkwardly as you do when you're in a regular kind of blitz game and whatnot. So they're feeling pretty good, and they know that probably all these engagements have the ability to go their way.
It sucks, man. It's a player like TFUE. I would have loved to see him clutch up there, but even him, once you run out of mats in that situation, and right there at Trump Tower, it was just remodeled. The whole thing looked different. None of it was his build, so he couldn't edit any of it. And at the end there, you saw him miss a couple shots, and you really want to see him get at least 1 or 2 kills there in that 1v3, but he wasn't able to. And TSM with their consistent gameplay, their good strategy, once they have a lead, they're gonna try to hold on to it. And we're going to have to see some really good gameplay out of FaZe Game 2 if they want to bring this back.
10 total kills still remaining. This is just extra credit at this point. Regardless if they get kills or not, they still got the lead going into round 2, so they got to be feeling good. They got to be feeling confident. They're going to be pushing up knowing that TFUE was, in fact, dropped over here at Trump. Nobody home just yet. I do believe there is somebody that built just below them, so there is blood in the water. Somebody is close. They're just trying to decipher where they're at. Of course, we don't have game sound, so we're not able to hear, but they probably hear someone just below them. Of course, they got to build up just to be sure there's nobody going to snipe them from another tower. The circle has, in fact, converged here on Tilted, so it's going to get a bit hectic. You think it's hectic in the beginning. Think about now whenever there's only 10 players remaining, and they're all pushing for you as a single team. But look at how much building we are seeing, and shots fired everywhere, but still nothing connected.
I wonder, is this the same team that took out?
It is.
That's what I was wondering too.
I'm
looking for that one character, the female character with the taxi yellow on. And as we say that, Hamlin's going to get 2.
And Myth knocks.
Yeah, a lot of players, you could argue, most of the lobby is here right now instead of Tilted. So
well, the circle. Definitely somewhere we need to push.
Yeah, so we didn't see it, but Myth was able to take out 2. I believe it was a team of 3 that took out TFUE, and he already took out 2 of those 3. And that's probably the third one there. Good job by Myth, getting down there and doing what TFUE couldn't.
Yeah, Myth is playing considerably well, I got to say. I mean, we've seen him in previous tournaments. Actually, we saw this team play in our last tournament, and they, in fact, lost. I don't think they placed very high, but maybe I think 4th place, actually. That was decent. I can't remember who knocked them out. I kind of want to say FaZe knocked them out of the tournament this time, so this is kind of like a little rematch here.
Yeah, this is going to be a growing rivalry.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
As Fortnite esports progresses, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll see TSM versus FaZe many times over. And this is just the beginning. We don't even, like we were saying before, we don't even know what the end format's going to be.
Sure.
It probably won't be like a kill fest like this. It'll be more of a survival type thing. But it's just exciting to see these top players finally get to play for some money and represent their orgs.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing orgs like TSM, FaZe. We just saw, of course, Team Envy. We got NRG. Who else do we see? I just saw Mind Freak. Mind Freak just picked up a pro team as well.
Are they Australian? Because I know they always go
they are Australian. They just picked up a pro team, so that's awesome on their part.
You got Cypher with LG.
Yep.
We'll see what Ninja does,
$100 million. I mean,
you got to have everybody.
I might start my own organization, to be honest with you.
Yo, honestly, you want to go in on the deal or what?
I'm down, man. You got to come up with a name first.
I got $20 on it, man.
All right. Down with that. Ribs, you're going to play. You're probably the best player in the building right now. Just,
Well, right now I'm still part of Ghost Gaming, all right? And then Ghost Gaming, I'm a Gears of War player, but I can speak.
We can't buy you out for $20? Okay. I tried. That was my negotiation, Landon. That's what you got to deal with as a business partner, bud.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. That is a very high-level technique where you're able to build your ramp, your floor, and your wall all in succession.
And that's one of the things that he's so successful at doing. And we see him do that. Ninja did as well. Hamlinz, they're so good at building. And Hamlinz is great at these box structures, just building up, right? He's so incredibly fast at doing so. And look at this. I love that they're split up. Shots going down. And we see Myth he gets a knock. Hamlinz, he gets a knock himself. And they are just totally decimating the enemy team, taking some fall damage. He's not even worried. He's going in with a grenade launcher. Player down below.
Poor guy.
And yet he doesn't even know the laser beam, and that actually the grenade launcher picks him up, and they're just picking off these players left and right. In fact, I think they have picked up all 10 that we talked about. So
yeah, this is just a wipe, a complete lobby wipe, and I expect nothing less.
And what I really liked in that kind of initial fight that we just witnessed there between the two TSM guys is that I think most likely a call-up was going that, like, I think it was Myth who was kind of shooting. I think it was Hamlin's structure from the top. He's like, hey, man, I have to shoot your structure down. There's a guy here. I'm willing to make the sacrifice.
He was giving support fire.
Yeah, so
he was doing it from an angle.
Right, so I like what was most likely the call-out there. It was like, hey, man, I'm going to shoot your ramp down.
Oh, he got
the safety
he got it.
From there. But, yeah, nice kill toward the end. That's going to be 10 kills there from Hamlinz. He continues to drop these double digits, man.
I just want to say how hard it is to shoot someone out of the air.
Oh,
like
not
you
for
just
him.
did.
That's nothing. Tracking somebody in the air for a guy like him, it's really not too tough.
Ribs, I want to tell you how hard that is to do, man. Trust me. Coming from me, I can't do it, bro. I try so hard.
These guys do that in their sleep. Believe me, man.
What? You can't do it either, man.
I'm just listening to you talk.
I thought you were going to talk trash.
I thought we were
man.
business partners. Now you're throwing shade. No, I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
It's all good, bro.
It's just the chug
I'm
life,
buying
I
you
guess.
out for another 20, 40 bucks.
21
to 6.
And this is we just saw this 15 kill
15
lead
kills.
going from game 1 to game 2. I did not
Wow.
expect that from FaZe. And yeah, Cloakzy getting taken out early. TFUE not able to have enough mats to clutch up in that fight.
Now,
And that's
sorry, you go ahead.
That's probably going to be it. It's good.
Now, I want to say, if there was ever a team to be down by this margin, to be in this mode, and to potentially make a comeback, the only team I could ever imagine making a comeback like this would be FaZe. So you could argue, right? Like they're obviously in a massive spot. They have to go big. Like we can talk about the strategies here in a second, but if there was ever a team to be in this spot, this is where FaZe likes to roam. We saw them make comebacks in the past. They're known for making these losers bracket runs. They have a lot of momentum. They want to be the first two-time champions for the Friday Fortnite tournaments, let alone back-to-back champions. They got a chip on their shoulder, and I think that they can't, or they're going to come out with the fire. I think this one will come down to. I'm gonna say I really think it comes down to a very close finish. To be honest, I don't think we're gonna see FaZe close it out, but I think it will be a lot closer than people think. But like I said, man, it's gonna be hard to call, right? But I think FaZe in this situation, and when I say call, I mean like what their play is here in this position here. But I don't know, man. I just feel like this is the team to do it if there was one.
Well, let's go back, right? We just saw this scenario literally last round, right? What was it that King Richard and his teammate and Aimbot Calvin, what was it that they did that didn't take over the lead over FaZe that we can see capitalized here for the FaZe boys?
Well, it's simple. I said in the same situation, you guys have to split up. You guys have to go to Tilted. They went to Salty, and we saw TSM go to Lonely Lodge. They didn't even get any kills for the first few minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. When you have a 15-kill lead, you only need to secure about one team wipe. Especially in Blitz, it's very hard for a team to drop 20, 30 kills in Blitz because there's too many kills going around.
Right.
So what I want to see right now from FaZe is I want to see TFUE go to Tilted, and I want to see Cloakzy go to Salty. They have to split up. They have to slay out the lobby. They don't have any other options because TSM probably is going to do the same thing. They're going to go across the map.
If someone goes to Salty, they'll probably go to Lonely or something like that.
Yeah, they don't need to fight in the beginning. They need to farm up, get their mats, get some loot, get a good kit, and then just get a few kills late game, and they'll secure the win.
And on a lot of, like, I know we talked about this too, and we were mentioning this in the very last series, where, you know, if you're, for example, we talked about like Nick Merckx and Cypher, like that old squad, like one strategy that they always like to do, where a lot of teams replicate it, where if you have a decent lead, follow the enemy, just be on their heels at all times. TSM's not a team known to do that. We were talking about that in the last game. Are they going to try the strategy out? They don't even want to try to go to the same city as the opposition, right? They even go all the way to Lonely to not even sacrifice some of those kills. So I think this would be a prime opportunity if TSM wanted, or if they were good at the strategy, if they even practice it. Now would be the time to utilize it. But obviously, this is probably an awkward team to do it against, because if we know anything about TFUE, I think based on my personal opinion, TFUE and Ninja are some of the best like kill stealers in the game, where like an extra, you know, I don't know, FAMAS burst, an extra, well, TFUE doesn't use the FAMAS, but you know what I mean? Like an extra shot, an extra like snipe, like one little kind of shot that can go at multiple angles. Those two guys to me are the very best at it. So I think this kind of plays toward both of these squads' favor. TSM probably doesn't want to try to join alongside them because they haven't in the past, but this would also be a very awkward team to do it against. But with the lead that you have, like, it wouldn't hurt to at least test it out. But I don't know, man. It's going to be a very interesting question to be kind of bringing up. There's a lot of kind of, you know, scenarios that can be played out in the situation. But I definitely agree with Ribs. I think FaZe has to split apart, at least send one player off by his lonesome. Hopefully, if the zone does end up going to Tilted, which it probably should, you know, one player has to at least go there by himself. So.
I can see it now, and Tilted is in the safe zone slightly. It's on the west side.
Well, so I was going to say send TFUE, because I think TFUE out of both of them definitely has the better gun skill. Send TFUE Tilted, send Cloakzy Salty.
Sure.
And I think overall that strategy could definitely potentially work. But Game 2 is underway, and this is a big match for either which team, right? We already knew it was two powerhouse going against. I was not expecting a 15-point lead going in for TSM against TFUE and Cloakzy FaZe. But nonetheless, it has happened, and here we are underway.
Looks like Cloakzy's going Salty with the TSM guys.
And going Tilted.
This is exactly what I thought was going to happen. So this is good. This is really good.
Well, meanwhile,
this is what they have to do.
They do. Absolutely.
But I'm curious, does TSM fade out? Do they still
they're
go
going to Fatal Fields.
Okay, they're
doing a safe landing, Fatal Fields. They might actually find a team there, which is terrible. But right now, honestly, FaZe needs to get a little lucky. They need to execute. And if TSM stays alive this game, regardless of what FaZe does, I don't think they'll lose. They have to hope that TSM gets taken out early game.
Yeah.
Something or
So
other.
the story really right now is going to be on TFUE.
Oh,
if,
for sure.
If
Yeah.
TFUE goes down, a comeback is going to be nearly impossible unless we see TSM get dropped, right?
Yeah,
But
he's gonna
already
start
he's
right
going
away with 2 kills.
two
here.
kills.
Yeah. One of them should have a gun. Okay, it's not free kills. The guy evacuates. We're gonna have the Candy Girl, and let's see what type of weapon she got up there on the roof of Trump Tower. And here comes the sticky grenades.
And all like a potential. Oh no! He gets
T2.
shots right. He's down. No! Look at him. Oh, he's devastated. You have to be at this point. Cloakzy
Yeah, man.
last alive, and you got to know TSM's feeling good after that. I mean,
Oh,
they
for
already come in
sure.
with a 15-point lead. That is detrimental.
So what
crazy.
happened there was TFUE.
Wow.
He took the second highest level and he built up through the window.
And Cloak is down. That's it.
They
Yeah,
gave him
they're-
the ropey
Wow.
though. So
Wow.
he took the second level. He went up to the roof.
Yeah.
And he hesitated. He got that down and he hesitated. They ended up using the same ramp that he built up to come around behind him.
Jeez.
And
Yeah.
when you saw Ninja in that situation 2 weeks ago, and when he was in Tilted, he didn't hesitate.
Right.
He ran at everybody with the LMG, and he just hit every shot. You have to go off.
If you initiate
can't-
the contact,
you can't
yeah.
wait. And I'm sorry, Tifu, but you got to play aggressive there.
Wow. Come on. I mean, but this is the thing. This is the first time you've actually seen it. This tournament, you've been blessed with all these long matches, right? But you were asking earlier, have we seen players go down, relatively early? And that just comes to prove it right there.